Hey guys, welcome to the homestead. I thought I'd do it this way. I tried to do a live video and it was so choppy and horrible. I said delete that thing and start over. So here's what I wanted to get across, because I don't even know if some of you guys got that. Jaimie's doing good. She was really looking bad this morning. We were supposed to do a PET scan this morning. We did the PET scan, and it came back that the cancer is localized, although it is turned metastatic, which is not good, but at least it's localized, and it looks like it hasn't spread. However, there's a spot of concern on her left shoulder blade that they want to look at, maybe a little bit closer, but they could be something else. It may be like a stress point. I asked her, I was like, is your shoulder blade hurting? And she's like, no. So they don't know about that, but everything else looks pretty much what they expected, although they did expect it to have spread. I think that's one of the reasons they wanted to do a PET scan, was to go ahead and see if it spread to other parts of her body, but so far it's all localized. So that's that. This morning she looked really bad. Her tongue had swollen again, and so we were going to take her into the ER anyway. I told them when we got to the PET scan that we were going to go in. They looked at her and said, no, we're going to get you admitted anyway. And so they got her a place in the hospital. She's at the hospital. I got to run home. I got to get a few things to take back. I should have thought about that this morning, and I just didn't, because it really messes me up when I see her in that much pain. And she was in a lot of pain this morning, and she was just out of it. She was very weak, and I was just really worried. But she's better now. She's got some pain meds. They got her on fluids. She hasn't eaten since last night, and she's probably not going to get a feeding tube in until tomorrow sometime, because they can't do a surgery now. They do surgeries mostly in the morning, so unless it's like an emergency. So I think they'll do the surgery tomorrow and hopefully get her on a feeding tube quickly, and then she can start eating again. So that's kind of where we're at with Jaimie, and it's good to see her better. You know, with the fluids, she's talking a little better, she's more alert, and the pain has subsided because they have her on morphine right now. Anyway, so that's the latest and greatest with that. And then I made a mention in that other video that I've seen all these motorcycles, and again, I just see them everywhere. The motorcycles running up and down the roads. Not near as many as it was this weekend. I wasn't out this weekend, thank goodness. I wasn't going to drive out and that stuff. But there's just so many motorcycles out and about. This guy is just slowing down. Okay, he's getting off. So many motorcycles out. It's called Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. And I mean, there must be tens of thousands, if not maybe 100,000 motorcycles down here during bikes. It's like, I guess the only other big event for motorcycles is Sturgeon up in Dakotas somewhere. I'm not sure. I'm not a motorcycle guy at all. So the reason for that is because I used to work in an ER. When I got out of the Army, I worked in an ER for over a year, just over a year, and I saw just as many motorcycle accidents as I did vehicle accidents. Just as many motorcycle accidents as I did vehicle accidents. So I should tell you, since there's more vehicles out there, if you see just as much, that tells you that motorcycles are really dangerous. Because you shouldn't see more motorcycle accidents than you should vehicle accidents, because there's less motorcycles on the road. It's crazy. I saw people come into that ER skinned alive. It's just absolutely insane. And I had a friend of mine named Charlie, and his dad pulled me aside one day and said, if you ever see Charlie on a motorcycle, you come and tell me, and I'll give you a $100 bill. Because Charlie really liked motorcycles, and he always wanted to get one. I don't know if he ever did or not. I never kept up with him. But I know he liked motorcycles quite a bit. And his dad said, I don't ever want you to see you on a motorcycle. And so he bribed his friends. If you ever see Charlie on a motorcycle, come tell me, and I'll give you $100. He didn't want Charlie to keep it a secret from his parents, because his dad knew how dangerous they were. Anyway, I never did see Charlie on a motorcycle, so I never got my $100. But he was going to beat Charlie's butt if he ever heard about him being on a motorcycle. And now, once I worked in an ER after I got out of the Army, I understood why. I was an armed security guard in that ER. They were looking for like part-time police officers or veterans, combat vets or infantry veterans to work armed security in that ER or in the hospital. The hospital had a security force of like 140 officers, at least back then it did. I don't know what it has now. But back then it was like 190 acres of hospital. It was one of the world's largest hospitals. Barnes ER, downtown St. Louis, is a level 1 trauma center. And I think the ER was about the size of a football field, I think is what it was. Football field size ER. I think it was one of the largest ERs in the world too. Anyway, so we saw some stuff, and I worked the night shift. And I'm telling you, I saw crazy things come through that ER, including lots of motorcycle accidents. Anyway, so I'm seeing all these motorcycles on the side of the road, driving on the road here, and I just passed a guy not that long ago. When I did the video, it was a guy and his wife or a guy and his girlfriend driving down on a motorcycle and not wearing helmets. And I have two thoughts about that when I see somebody driving a motorcycle with no helmets. The first thought is you're an idiot, because I've seen lots of motorcycle accidents. The second idea is God bless America, because you have the ability still in this country to not wear a helmet and be an idiot if you want to be. Whereas a lot of other things, in this country that people could accuse you of being an idiot over are now illegal. I wear a seatbelt, and I do it, number one, because I have to. It's the law, and I don't want to get a ticket. And number two, because I'm not an idiot. See, not wearing a seatbelt, if I don't wear a seatbelt, really, it only hurts me. It doesn't hurt anyone else but me. Because if I get in an accident, I'm the one who didn't wear the seatbelt. It hurts. I'm the one who gets hurt or has the possibility of being severely injured. Doesn't affect anyone in this car, else in this car, if they wear a seatbelt or not. Doesn't affect anyone else in the other cars. It only affects me, but I get upset because, it's a loss of liberty when someone has to tell you to do something that's only going to affect yourself. It doesn't affect anyone else. Likewise with the motorcycles, if they choose not to wear a helmet, it's their decision. It's their choice. But it speaks of liberty. I think they're an idiot for not wearing a helmet, but hey, it should be a free country to be an idiot if you want to be. That's kind of how nature cleanses the gene pool. That's how our Creator intended us to be. If we want to be idiots and cleanse the gene pool on our own, we can do that. It's a little bit of bleach in the gene pool. Anyway, all that aside, I was just thinking about that as I'm seeing all these motorcycles on the road right now, coming back from Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. Most of the barbecue that they serve at Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue is not kosher, so I wouldn't be eating it. See, I try not to do things that the Father says not to do. It's pretty simple. That'll stir the pot. Acts chapter 10, Zach. Acts chapter 10. Reread it. Verse 28. All right, that's all I'll say about that. Okay, everything else is okay. Like I said, I'm coming back home to get some things from Jaimie, heading back to the hospital, and then I'll keep you posted on any future updates that may be forthcoming. But I'm hoping to get her. We don't know when the surgery is going to be. They got to redo the surgery probably with the screw that's infected in her jaw, and they're going to take some more biopsies on some things. Yeah, it's just a mess. So one day at a time. Thanks for your prayers. Thanks for your encouragement. And I'll talk to you next time there's something to talk about. Love you guys, and thank you for loving us. We really appreciate it. See you next time in the homestead. Bye.